Chapter number 9, problem number 21. This problem is slightly different than some that we've faced in the past. And we'll get to that when we deal with part B, which is the twist that you've dealt with in BMAT, but maybe haven't dealt with for a while. This person is going to get $45,000 per year for the next 10 years. So part A is a fairly simple calculation. Your N is 10 and your IY is 10. Your future value is 0. Your PMT is the 45,000. Compute PV. That's a fairly straightforward calculation. The twist in part B is it's a deferred annuity. When I've taught BMAT class, this was always a bit of a challenge for people because there's 2 steps to the process. And what some students think is present value brings it back to time 0, which is not actually correct. Present value brings the amount of money to the beginning of whatever period of time you're referring to. So in part A, there was simple 0 to 10 years. In part B, there's actually 12 years. There's a 2-year deferral period of time, and then there is 10 years of a stream of payments. So the 10 years is the same, that we can take the number from part A, as you can see on the screen. And what changes is that amount of money is at the beginning of the period. Well, the beginning of the period is not time 0. Beginning of the period is 2 years from now. So then you need to take the money from 2 years from now and bring it back to today. So you change N to be 2. You need to make sure that you put the 276,525 as F fee. 0 is your payment, and they'll go compute PV, and you wind up with 228,517. Now, in part C, if the payments are made at the beginning of the period, and even though part A didn't say, it is always assumed the payments are at the end unless otherwise stated. So C is the same as part A, and all you need to do is change your calculator to begin mode. So in part C, it's from years 0 to 10. There's no deferral. So 45,000 is PMT, N is 10, IY is 10, FE is 0, but you have to go into your calculator and change your calculator to begin mode. I stress again, after you do this problem, go back and change your calculator to end mode, because that represents almost all of the calculations in the entire course is on end mode, and you don't want to get caught with accidentally leaving your calculator on begin mode, and you're going to wind up with a mark that you will not be particularly happy with. You go compute PV, and you wind up with 304,156. And if you notice, compared to part A, by simply receiving the payments at the beginning of the time period compared to the end, it's approximately $28,000. The 304 minus the 276. So it's quite a bit more money by simply getting your payments a year earlier. And that's the end of this particular problem.